Oh, here he is. So this is it. All right.
Among the many characters in The Sopranos, Christopher Moltisanti remains as one of my favorites in the whole series. His whole personal drama of wanting to be something more than a wise guy was always one of the main highlights of the series for me, and the final scene of episode 7 of season 2, titled D Girl, remains as one of my favorite scenes in The Sopranos. When we first meet Christopher, he seems to be another one of Tony's goons in the Jersey mob. He lives a life of robberies, beatings, and murder. But later down the line, we learn that he actually has other plans in mind. He's actually a film bro, just like the rest of us. He makes constant film references, he takes on acting classes, and he even gets to meet John Favreau at one point. However, the crux of his character is that even though with his love for the film industry and his promising talent, that doesn't change the fact that he's still a mobster. His ties with Tony and the other guys in the mob would eventually clash with his passion for movie making, as their chosen lifestyles are at odds with one another. Enter episode 7 of season 2, where one of the most pivotal moments of his dilemma arises. John Favreau contacts Chris again and claims he wants to adapt the screenplay he's been working on, and it seems like this is going to be Chris's big break. Unfortunately, long story short, it doesn't work out as John Favreau was only using him to get inside knowledge about the mob. Chris obviously gets pissed off about this and doubts himself like in episodes prior, but nonetheless, the dream was still in his heart. He still wants it. Tony doesn't share the same sympathy, however, and gives him an ultimatum at the end of the episode to either walk away from the mob life and pursue his dream of filmmaking, or to fully commit himself to the family. He unfortunately chooses the latter. Now, this scene hit hard the first time I watched it and was one of the key scenes that sold me on The Sopranos. But now, looking back after finishing the series, it dawns on me on how this particular moment feels like a thesis statement for the whole series. For as you see throughout The Sopranos, we follow all these characters who refuse to change the path they are on, regardless of how self destructive it is. Tony struggles to get his mental health together. AJ never has the strength to rid himself of his sense of entitlement and lack of work ethic. Jackie Jr. could avoid getting drawn into his family's way of life. The Sopranos introduces us to all of these characters and uses them as a reflection of life and the struggles that come with it, the struggle of its uncertainty, and the struggle of making tough choices that will indefinitely influence our destinies going forward. Christopher is no different from this, as throughout the series, he had so many chances to change, but he never took it. He just gave up. He gave up on his mom, he gave up on Adriana, he gave up staying sober, and he even gave up on his dreams. He is a reflection of those among us who wants to be something bigger or greater than what we are, yet the pressures of life and our cultural norms hold us back. He is no different from those people who dream, but when reality doesn't shape up to what they wished for, they then plummet into the abyss of self pity. He doomed his fate by choosing Tony and the mob, not only because they consider him family, but also because he wasn't brave enough to be himself and was stuck living for someone else's dream. The decision he made, just like the other things later on in the series, would only serve as the catalyst to the problems that would ultimately haunt him for the rest of the series. It's tragic, really. It's tragic. However, as tragic as Christopher and a lot of the other characters' fates are later down in the series, if we were to look at all the good tragedies in film or literature according to the Greek playwrights of old, Tragedies are stories of the what could have beens or the stories to learn from. Whether or not you think there could have been a better route these characters could have taken, or if the situation of their lives were somehow different, or if they were just given another chance to better themselves, depends entirely on us, the audience. But if we look back and remember the culminating scene of the series, David Chase reminds us to never stop believing.